Hello, everyone. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Hi, good evening. I was trying to sort out the live chat. Can everyone hear me, please? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Um, please, if you can hear me, can you just, yeah, okay, I'm live now. Hi, if you can hear me, can you just let me know in the comments section? In the comment section. Good evening, everyone. Apologies, I was trying to sort out the streaming stuff. Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening. How has your day been? Happy Sunday to you. Hi, Gertrude. I feel like you're the star student for this for this first cohort. You're always on time and always eager. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday to you too. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How have you been? Have you been able to do any of the things that we started yesterday? Have you been able to try anything? Did you face any challenges so far? How has it been? I've actually been receiving some very interesting questions, which was why I was sending the whiteboard animation videos to the group as well. Because a lot of people were asking me, oh, like, how do you create whiteboard animations and all those other questions? So please, like, don't hesitate, send me a message. Just send me a message on WhatsApp. I would always respond, at least most of the time. All right. I'm just going to give people a little bit more time to join in today. So we'll start at this 7:06. So once it's 7:08, I'll just give people about 2 minutes to join. And then we'll start with today's class, which is creating a website. So the website would be like the final thing that you'd submit, which would have like all the work you've been doing so far. And then so you just all you just need to do is you send me the link for your submission so that I'll be able to view your website. All right, let me know how your day has been. You can just comment it in the comment section. Good, bad, not so good. I don't understand what you've been teaching me. Please comment session. Okay, we have 1 more minute left. And also, if you can, please also just drop it on the group chats that class has started so that people are aware and then they can join in as well. Let me drop a message as well. I feel like a lot of people watch the replay session rather than the live session. But I mean, it's probably the timing as well because currently is 7 p.m. Yeah, so it's 7 p.m. for both UK and Nigeria, and most people are probably out with friends, things like that. I mean, that's what I'll usually be doing by this time on a Sunday, anyways. But yeah, I'm happy to be here teaching you guys. So let me just share my screen. Okay. Oopsies. Okay, so I'll just so I think we've covered everything from the class. So we started with today is the last class. Yay. So the first session we did graphics design, that's like to create a poster. We've done that. Then the second session, that's same week one, second session. We looked at design theory. Then week two, we didn't do a business flyer design, but it's the same principle with the first one, and then presentation design. I know a lot of people have been sending me like their presentation posters, which is nice. Then we did like mock-up And we also did like logo design and how to use your logo in a mock-up. Then for Saturday, this week, that's the last week, week 3, we've done video animation. That was what we did yesterday, where I showed you how to create animation in Canva, and also like just showed you the different things that you can do. Then today's that's the last class. We're going to be doing a website creation using we're going to be doing website creation using free features, and this is going to be your final portfolio that you're going to submit. So I'll go back to home. I mean, by now a lot of you are familiar with this, because if you've been practicing for the past 3 weeks, then you would have improved a lot, and you know where different things are. So I'm going to yeah. So this is like the normal interface. Here you can search. So for the purpose of today's class, we're going to be using templates. And the reason is, if you're creating a website, so let's say for example, let's look for very, very popular websites. You have websites like Apple's website, or if you're a fashion person, let's look for Fenty. So I use Fenty a lot, so I'm partial. But yeah, so let's look at Fenty's website. So you see that there are different things that like automatically jumps out. Nope, reject. There are different things that automatically jumps out to you when you're looking at a website. So I'm just going to do a crash course on websites. Then we're going to create our website using a template from Canva. There are a million templates from Canva. So you could do two things. You could decide that, oh, you know what, I want to create my own website from scratch, but that's going to take a long time. Whereas you could take a template, repurpose it, and then as long as you know the important things to look out for, you would be able to create a website that can present either your business, or if you're a student. So for architecture students, for example, you need to have a portfolio. So you can have an online portfolio that just showcases your work, like the things that you've done. Or if you're a student, you just want to have a portfolio that is like your CV, or like an online CV kind of platform. You can create that using websites. So I'll show you those 3 different things, how to do them in Canva. So when you look at a primary website, you see that all these things, they are like rectangles in rectangles. So in website language, you call those things containers. So they're like containers that are holding different things. So you have this part, which is like the banner aspect, and then it has like all these things that they want you to just look at. So you have things like the logo, the location, and then you have things that are called call to actions. So anytime you hear CTA, a CTA is a call to action. So on this banner, for example, sign in is a call to action. That's what they want you to do. They want you to sign in. And then when you look at the hero page, so the hero page is like hero big. So that's the way I kind of remember it. So the hero page is like the largest part, like the most visible part of the website. When you open it, that's like your first main page. So you have call to actions there. This call to action, so any website that you open, it doesn't matter, it always has the first page where they're showing you where they're showing you what the website is about, and then you have call to actions. That's those ones, they're usually in a different color from the text, just to create contrast, which was what the design theory class covered the other time in what's it called, in the second session. Yeah. So also another thing for business people, or for people that are intending to start a business, you want to do a business and you want to have a website. Another thing to also note, or to also know, another term to know, is called an MVP. So an MVP is like your minimum viable product. So for example, let's say Fenty Beauty was just launching. They haven't done all these their launches and everything. The minimum viable products will be, what are the minimum things that they need to have on their website that would communicate everything. It doesn't even have to be like a product. Okay, let's look at maybe your portfolio, for example. On your portfolio website, what are the things you need to have? You need to have your name, That's very important. Then you need to have like a section. I think I have, let me check if I can find my portfolio. Where would you be? Uh that would be on LinkedIn actually. I think I can get it through LinkedIn. That would be a very long process. Anyways, I'll send you guys the link for my portfolio. So you have like your what's it called, your name or your logo there. Then you have links that just takes them directly to your work. So you have things like about me, my work, and things like that. And that's like the minimum thing that you need to have on your portfolio website. So that's what's called a minimum viable product. So on your portfolio website now, you want to do the first one. You're not including shop my clothes, shop my store. No, all of that is not important. So you need to like break things down into what is the most important and what is the most needed. So that's what a minimum viable product is. Then SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization. So when we start creating the websites, all these things will make sense. So search engine optimization is when you go to Google and I type in um so for example, let's say you are doing an agency business, or no, cake business in London. Search engine optimization is that your website has like things like words in it that makes it come out top as part of like the top things. So let's say you're doing a website for cake and then there's nowhere on your website that cake is mentioned. Everything that is there is just, oh, I don't know, cook, or you're just using different words. By the time they search your website on Google, it's not going to pop up. So if you look at all these websites, for example, I've not typed the name of any website. I've just typed cake businesses in London. And you can see automatically, like when you look at through the search engine, you're seeing keywords like bakery, you're seeing keywords like cake, you're seeing keywords like London. So everything, like when you go through everything that are shown on this page, you're going to see that keyword there, cake London. And that's what search engine optimization is. I'm sure you've heard it, like if you're someone that is online a lot. So for today, we're going to be starting with our website. So you can either come here. So this is the home page, and then I can come here and just click on create website, and then that will give me like a blank template to then build my website from scratch. But I'm not going to be a Wonder Woman today. So we're going to go back, and then we're going to search for if you guys have any business that you're partial to, you can type it in the comment section. I can see the comment section. So if you have any specific websites that you like us to create, can you just type that in the comment section? Okay, nobody's answering. All right. So let's say we wanted to create a portfolio website. So I'll just type portfolio. And then you see that automatically you have like all these different portfolio templates that you can start working out from. So you can just pick any one of them and then you customize that to your own portfolio. Or so since what we've been doing so far has been graphics design, so I'll just put graphics design. Should I do the graphics design portfolio? Yeah, since you're submitting it. So let's do graphics design portfolio. So we just check through and then look for a very nice template. So you see, this is already starting to look like what's it called? A CV on its own. So you have about me, education, my project. So that's the work you've done, and then contact me. You see, it's very simple. It has everything that you need. Oh, we're not using a pro version. How do I filter here? Oh, there's no back type. Oh, there's no filter there. All right, so we're looking for one that doesn't have pro so that you guys can recreate it. So this one doesn't have pro. This one is not a pro version as well. This one is pro. So pro means that you're paying for it. So, but since the idea of the class is that you can The idea is that you can redo it, and some people might not want to pay for it, and that's fine. So we're just looking for a free version that we can use. So let's just use this one. I mean, this one looks like more like a business card, but no problem. Okay, we have more options here. Is this a website? I don't think this is a website. Portfolio. Let's add website. So we're looking for a free version that we can use. I think we can actually customize this one. This one is not free. Let's just use this one, but it's not free. So customize this template. So it automatically opens in a new tab, the same process that we've been doing all this while. So here you can start, like, is literally the same thing. You can start editing text. So I'm just going to do about 3 pages so that we're not repeating a lot of things. So here I'll just change it to Faith Ogundare graphics design portfolio, or it can be anything. You can change the colors as well. So if you don't like the color, you can give it a different color. And then also another thing, when you're changing color, if you click on one and then you change that color, there's always a prompt that you want to change everything that has this color to that new color that you're picking. So if I click on change all, it will change it across all pages. It will change that particular color across all the pages. So but I don't really like the new color anyways, so I just Control Z. That's all I did. So here we've added this. So let's say I want to add my picture. I mean, you can leave it blank if you're not comfortable putting your picture, that's fine. So but let's say I wanted to add my picture. What will I do? We've done it before. I'll go to elements, I'll type in frame, and then frame will bring out all these different frames that are available in Canva. So I can decide that, oh, you know what, I want to use a circular frame, or I want to use a square frame. Or you also have like different, like, just scroll through, you can have all these ones that have like very very jagged ends. So you have different frames available that you can just use. And you also remember the way to change your picture, like to bring in the picture, you go to uploads. You can upload your file. So let's say I wanted to upload my picture, I'll just go to upload files, and then I'll look for a nice picture of myself. I think it should be on the self here. Yeah, and then I can just open that photo. It will load in same way, same process. Everything we've been doing is the same process. And then I can just edit that photo. So and then so let's say you've put in the photo, but you don't like it, you want to change the frame. How do you do that? So you select this, you right click on your, if you're using your phone, you select it and then you press these 3 dots on your phone. But on your computer, you can right click and then you can detach. So if I click on detach image, you would remove the image from that frame. I can delete the frame, go back to elements, then bring in a new frame. So let's say I wanted to use this, the rounded edges one. I can just do this, drag it in, and then I can edit this, and then that's it. So this will be like the cover page. And then yeah, and then you can go to the next page, now start adding in different things and all of that stuff. So let me show you a sample website that I actually built, so that we have things in context of what we can do. Yep. So I did this on I built this on a website. I mean, it's there's a lot of things that can improve in it, and I did it like quite a while ago. But you see that on this website, for example, there are call to actions. That's like join my newsletter. I click on it, and then it opens up a new link. So you have all these things that you can do in other websites. How do you do that? So, or I click on this, for example, and then it opens up a different link separate from the website. So how do you achieve things like that in Canva? So I'll go to this again. I can select this, for example. So I'll select this text. Let's say I want this text when you click on it, like when it is published. Yep. I want this text when it is published for it to open up somewhere else. But let's create a call to action first here. So I'll just scale this down a little bit more. Then to create my call to action button, I'll go back to elements. Then I can bring in rectangle, or I can just use text actually. Yeah, I can actually just use text. So I can go to text and then add in a text box. And then the text box will be view my work, because that's the call to action. View my work. Because that will be the call to action on my landing page. And then I will increase the size of this so that it's a bit bigger. I will change the font. I'll probably use a serif font or a sans. What font is this one? Radley. Yeah, and then generally the rule of thumb, like the more you design, the better all these things will get. But the rule of thumb generally for text is that you shouldn't have more than, some people say two, so more than two different types of font types. But generally the rule of thumb is usually three. So when you're doing your project, always try to restrict your fonts, dancing fonts, different styles to just three. That's usually the rule of thumb. Or like if you can stick to two, use two. But if you need to go more than two, just use three. Yep. So I'm going to select the text. I'll go to effect, and then I can add in a background. So now I'm going to change the background to white, just so it stands like against. I don't like this background. Mhm. Let me use, yeah. Yeah, and then so okay, sorry, let me explain what I'm doing. So I selected this. I didn't like the other background, and the reason why I didn't like it was because it wasn't working with the picture. So the picture, like, it looked overexposed, like overblown. So what I'm trying to do is I want to create a very, because the picture that is there is like very toned down, very muted. So I want the background to like blend in with that, so it has like this muted tone that is like easy on the eye, rather than looking very overblown and oversaturated. No, overexposed, not oversaturated. So if I select this, I'll just go to edit color. So I'll click on the color to change it. So you see here I have photo colors. So if I click on see all, it will show me all the photos that are in my design, and then I can just pick any other color from there to then use as part of the background. So, and then you just see, like, it blends more with the background than if it was the other color, where it was like things were looking a bit like they were fighting against each other. So I'll just go back, change all, so I don't have to change it too many times. And then, yeah, so from here, when I click on view my work, I'll go to effects, background. You can adjust the roundness, You can adjust the spread if you want it to be a bit bigger. You can change the transparency if you want it to just be a bit light and things like that. So you can do different things to that. All I just did was I selected the text, I went to effects, and then I added in a background. You can also add in neon. Neon is like to make it glowy. So if you want the glow to be, so the current glow is I think a different color. So, but we'll just use the background, and then instead of yellow, I would possibly leave it as white so that it matches up with other things in the text. And then this one, remember what I taught you yesterday? So if you select it, you want to change the positioning, you just go to position, and then you can go to layers. So you can do it here where you're doing bring forward, bring to front, things like that, or you can just go to layers and then you can move things around. And then you can move things around. So I'm just going to adjust this a little bit more. And yeah, and then we have like, and then I want to centralize this with what's happening here. Yeah, I want to centralize this with this. So I'll go to position and then go to arrange and then center. I hope everyone can still see my screen. Yeah, everyone can see my screen. Well, actually, this looked much better here. So I'll just select this. So let's say now I want to link this. How do I do that? So, in a normal website, for example, now I can click on this and then it opens up a new page. So how do I do that in Canva? So I'll go back here, select this, come here, go to more, and then under more, you have link. So when I click on link, the shortcut is Control K. So there are two different options you can do with link. You can either enter a link. So let's say, for example, I want that every time you click on this, I want it to take you to my page. So view my work. I want you to take you to another page like outside of Canva. All I just need to do is I'll copy this, follow my steps. I'm copying this faithogundare.com/contact, and then I'll go here and then I'll put this link here and then I'll click done. So yeah, and then done. So now anytime somebody clicks this, so if I'm holding control click. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So when we're presenting, yeah, when I click this, you see it automatically opens up a new page. So that's the way you link things. So all I just did was let me do it again. So I selected this. Let me do it again. Control Z. Yeah. So I selected this. I went here. That's the three dots. And then I scrolled down and then I clicked on link. The shortcut is Control K. There are two options for you to do. So you can either link to a page. So let's say you've already created a slide that says view my work, for example. So let's say there's so much designs here. Okay, yeah, so this is my designs. Let's say this is my work or my work. I don't like this template, but yeah, we'll make do with it since we're not using the pro version. Anyways, so view my work. So I'll select this. I'll click on the three dots and then scroll down and go to link. Control K is the shortcut. So I have two options. I can either scroll down and then link it to this page. So number 5, you can also title your pages. Like it's usually easier for structuring and then so that you know where things are. So I'll just click on this and then I'll click on done and that's it, it's done. So every time now when I present, every time I click on view my work, you automatically go to this page and then you can just continue the website stuff and everything. So, or I want to link it outside. I want it to go to a separate link entirely. So let's say, for example, here you've put in your let's go back to elements and then this page. Do we need this page? Probably not. hi there. So this is like your introduction page. Introduce yourself. Then you can just talk of your experience. This template is horrible, but it's fine. And then here you have like the, what's it called, your my work page. And then here you're starting to like showcase your work and what you do. And then you can just scroll through. So these are like all the works. You can start talking of your project rates, things like that. I'm just going to delete all of this. And then I have delete this as well. Delete. You know what? Just go back to design. Back here. And then we can look for website pages. So we can also input new pages. So it's not like once you've done one, you can't do anything else. So if I just drag this and drop, you can either replace the new page or add as new page. So if I click on add as new page, you see it just added it in. Or if I drag and I drop it, and then I want it to replace the new page, you just replace that page itself. So I think I prefer these templates. So I'll just drag this here and drop. Delete page. Yep. Yeah. I think I prefer that one. Delete this one. And then I'll just change the background so that it matches up with our other color. So I'll have to change all the text to white. Also, another thing you can also do actually, which I don't think I ever mentioned, is let's say for example, I want this background to be a gradient. I don't want it to be just a solid color. So what I'll do is I change the color to blue. Then I can select this. So you see this stuff is to like edit the color. And then when I click on it, I have solid color or gradient. So if I click on gradient, it like applies a gradient to that page. And then you have like different options for your gradients, and then you can just change, like cycle through and then pick one of it. I'm just going to select all of these, change the color to white so that there's a better contrast against the background. And yeah, okay, yes, so I wanted to show you. So if I go to elements, let's say for example, and then I have like my introduction page, my work. We're just going to change this so that it matches up with the other colors that we've been working with. My work, I'm going to change this design. Let's check for my portfolio website. All the nice ones are paid. Okay, yeah, this one is unpaid. Yep. I think this one is actually this one is much better. Oh no. I mean, not replace, but because then we'll have to do all the work again. So let's just bring this one in. For example, let's say this is where add as new page. So yeah, so let's say this is where like maybe you're doing services website. So let's say this page now is like my services, all those type of things. And then I'll just delete this page, We don't need this page. Yep. Actually, I can change this color to match the other one. Oh, no. Just leave it, it's fine. So, yeah. And then I'll change this to a darker color so that, but yeah, so when you're doing your own websites, don't be indecisive like me. Just pick a color and stick to it. Yeah. Yeah. And then let's say we want to have like a last page, like a contact me page. So contact me website. So like the last page. All these ones are pro versions, yeah. Yep, so I'll just scroll through. Yep, so let's add this page as our last page. So here, now you want to start including things like links. So let's say you want to have like a link to your Instagram. So what you do is you go to elements, you type in Instagram, and then you can bring in, oh no, Instagram icon, sorry. And then change this to all instead of just frames. And then I can bring in the free versions. Let's see, free. So I can just bring this in, for example. You can change the color here if you don't like that color. So, and then I'll just scale this down a little. Like whether it's email, whether it's Instagram, whether it's like linked to your YouTube, is the same is the same process. You come here, everyone can still see me. You type in YouTube icon, for example, you can bring it in, scale it down. You can, this one you probably won't change the color because that's like the color of YouTube. So you can just leave it. And then how do you link it to your YouTube? So what I'll do is I'll select this, same process, double click the three buttons, and then go to link. And then here you type in your YouTube link. Or here I would right click on this, then link, and then type in my Instagram link. What's my Instagram actually? I think it's faith underscore Ndara. So, or let's say this was my Instagram link. I'll just copy this. So for, and do I have that page here? Oh no, I don't. So here I just have for, oh yeah, I do actually. So when I click on the link, you see it automatically just comes to my Instagram page. So it's the same thing. So I'll just copy this link and then come to the websites that we're building, and then I'll type in the link that's for Instagram, and then I'll just click on done, and that's it, done. And so now when we go to present, so present, you can preview. So presenter view is like how it will look like when you're presenting. Present and record is, say for example, I wanted it to be like a class, so I want to pre-record this class. If I choose present and record, then I can present the whole class like as a webinar, and then I'll send you guys the link to watch the recording. So you just see me like at the side, same way you will see it on YouTube. I'll just be here like a tiny, let's do it. So present and record, you just see me here, the person that is recording, and then I'll take you through the whole process, and then I'll send you the link so that you can watch it and then understand the process. So that's what present and record does. Presenter view is how does it look when you're presenting? So if you have notes, so let's say for example, you're doing a presentation for someone, you can also add in notes in Canva. So here you just put in the notes. So you want to prompt yourself as you're presenting. The other person that you're presenting to won't be able to see it, but you that you're presenting, you'll be able to see it. Or then present full screen is like the normal one that we've been doing since. So how do you, because time is going, how do you share your website? So I'll just go to share, and then I'll go to website. Then underneath website, I can decide that I want to have a custom domain, or I want to just have like a link that I can send to people so that they can access my website. So to do that, I'll just put in Faith Ogundare. So here it will be faithogundare.mycanva.site. So anytime anyone types this into their Google web search, this website is going to come up. So faithogundare.mycanva.site. And then I can just publish websites. I should have checked publish settings. Yep. And then you can view your site. So if you want to share it with someone, all you just need to do is copy, and then you can share it. So you just go to WhatsApp or anywhere you want to share it, and then you just share it to the person. But let's view the website. So now this is how our website looks, and then you can scroll through. So you can just click on view my work, and then you view the whole work. So but this one looks more like a presentation than a website. So what if you wanted to do like a scrollable website, those ones that like just one page and then you scroll through? How do you create that? So that one, edit design. Yep. So if I'm doing that one, I'll just come here, I'll search for website, and then I'll add landing page website actually. So that is just one, so that is just one page. Oh no, I don't want it with. So you have like multiple website templates that you can kind of work with, and then you can use. So this one is just showing you how it would look like on a on a system, and then this is it in like in your scroll view, and then I can change it to show different, to show in different ways, so grid view, or if I wanted to like scroll through and then just see. So also another thing actually, if I go to share, if I go to share, and then I just go to my, yeah, to my live website. Let's say for example, I didn't want it to. Okay, yes, and then this is where you put in your SEO, the SEO stuff I was talking about in the beginning. So I'll just put graphics designer, like it can be anything, graphics designer based in London, always. So by the time anyone, so I'll just try to ensure that whatever I do, this particular phrase is on my website, so that by the time, it can be longer than this, it can be any length. But the idea is that by the time anyone types any of these phrases on Google, your website will come up. And then say for example, I wanted to republish my website, it will just republish and that's it. Or if I go to share and then I want my website to be a custom website, that means I have like a custom domain. A domain is your .com. So that's what a domain is. So for example, with my own website, the domain is faithogundare.com. That means I have my .com website. That's what a domain means. But say for example, you've gotten this domain, and then you want your domain to be like your own name. You don't want it to be .canva.website. What you do is the same process. So you go to live website, edit this. So you can edit this, and then you can just click on get a new domain, but that one will be paid for. Or so if you have your own domain, you can connect it. So say for example, I already have my own faithogundare.com. I'll just click continue, and then I'll enter it faithogundare.com, and then I'll click on continue. I don't want to connect it. So yeah, and then you can review the steps. It's like a step-by-step process, and then you can connect it. Or buy a new domain. That means you don't have a domain yet and you want to buy one. So let's say my business is cake. Why do I keep using cake as an example? Maybe it's time for me to start a cake business. But I can't bake, so so cake biz. So you have cakebiz.net and all of this stuff, and then you can just buy the domain. But usually it's better for you to buy the domain outside. So there are different websites where you can buy a domain. An example is like godaddy.com. So if you go to godaddy.com, you can purchase a domain for, I think, as low as, yeah, £0, 0.0, like very cheap, for a year. And then you can use that domain as your main domain, and all you just need to do is like connect it to your website after you design it. Yeah. Or also another thing I forgot, you can also share your website as a QR code. I don't know if you guys like go for all these events where there is like a big screen, and then you just have like the QR code. So, and then people can just scan the QR code with their phones, or you can print them as flyers. So let's say for example, you've designed your flyer and you want people to go to your website to place orders, or you want to direct people to your Instagram page or different things like place their orders. You can come to QR code. So underneath Canva here, what I did was I went to share. So let me do it again. So share, then I'll click on this see all button, and then I'll click on QR code, and then it will automatically generate a QR code. So let's say, what is my website code again now? Let's go to my website. Yep. And then edit, design, share, website. So this is my website URL. So I'll just copy this. Website. Yep. So I'll just copy my website URL, and then I'll come here. That's the QR code, and then enter it here. And when they scan the QR code, I want them to land on page 1. And it looks a bit weird, no? And then generate QR code. So anytime someone scans this, it would take them to my. So if you scan this with your phone now, for example, here's my phone. So if you scan it with your phone camera, so, and then I just click on it. So you see, it automatically brings me to the website. So that's the beauty of QR codes. So you don't need to send the person the link, and then they'll just automatically bring them to your website page, and then they can see what work you have. So we have about 7 minutes left. Are there any questions? So I've shown you how to share the website. Yeah. I've shown you how to scan it as a QR code. You can also send it to your phone. You can download it. So save it as a PDF that you can just scroll through, because websites are primarily PDFs. So when you look at a website, like when you actually take out time to look through a website, it's actually different pages that have been segmented. So you see that the first page, for example, ended here. You have another page, you scroll through, the other page ended here. You have another page ended here. So it's like different documents that they've combined together to create like a continuous scroll that you can just scroll through. So that's what a website is. I'll also send other videos as well to the group chat so that you guys can see other ways to like create different websites as well. So that will help you with your final assignment that you submit in 2 weeks time. Yeah, in 2 weeks time. So you have your website having everything. It can be anything. I don't want to just restrict it, but if you don't know what to do, you can just do a website that has all the work that you've done so far, a website that introduces you. Because one of the other things that I think is also very important in this day and age is to learn how to present yourself to people. And you only learn by practicing. Like the more you practice presenting yourself to people, the more you practice telling people about yourself, what you do, it helps with your own confidence, and then it helps other people to know about you as well. Because if not, no one actually knows about you, especially in this social media world that we live in today. So I'll send in other videos to the group chat as well that would help with the process. All right, thank you so much for joining in today's class. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah, nope. How do you stop sharing? Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Does anyone have any questions or any clarifications? Anything you'd like me to clarify, you'd like me to add in? I hope today's class was helpful. We have about 4 minutes left. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. Oh, okay, you can still hear me. All right. Yeah, so do you have any questions? Anything you'd like me to like just talk over, or any questions at all? Like general, because this is our last class for Canva, anyways. So we'll just have like a break, and then we'll have like generally for just one weekend, because I think the too long classes is too long. But yeah. So let me know, do you have any questions or no questions for now? All right, thank you so much for joining today's class. I'll be looking forward to your assignments. All right, no problem. But I hope it was helpful. All right, no problem.